What's up guys, Michael from Comfy Glass here. Just a quick video for you guys now, just kind of a holiday gift guide for Video Games 2012 basically. Kind of the games that are out there at the moment, kind of what's on the wish list basically for the Christmas time, and just kind of my overall breakdown of the best games that you can get for, the person in your life, the family member that wants a new video game basically. I'm going to go through a couple that I've actually got myself first, and then just kind of run through some stuff afterwards in terms of what else there is on offer that I don't currently have, that maybe even myself is looking forward to maybe for Christmas myself. Now obviously with all the hype and everything with Grand Theft Auto 5 that's coming out recently, I would highly recommend as my first recommendation, because it is going real cheap at the moment, and that is Grand Theft Auto 4 Liberty City Stories, which has the Lost and the Damned expansion pack and also the Ballad of Gay Tony expansion pack as well. Now the game itself is a very good game. Like I say, basically it follows the story of Niko Bellic, and at the moment, following through Liberty City, which is basically New York. And then you can see here from the screenshots, it is a very insane game. It's not necessarily for everyone. It is definitely 18 rate certificate, so only suitable for those 18 years or over. Although some people younger will probably get their hands on it anyway, already have. So like I say, GTA 4 Episodes from Liberty City is definitely my first recommendation that I can kind of give my advice to basically. Next up we do have a game that I was really looking forward to. I did actually pick up for myself and I am loving it at the moment, which is Dishonored. Now Dishonored came out a while ago. It's made by Bethesda, so it's going to be good obviously with things like Fallout being made by Bethesda, etc. Now the game itself basically focuses around one main character. His name is Carvo, and basically you are an assassin. You have to take out basically key people to kind of protect your fortress. Basically you got kind of framed for killing the Empress basically, so you do now have some supernatural abilities, which is really nice. And basically, like I say, you've become an assassin to seek revenge on those who ruined your life, basically. So the guys that kind of framed you for the murder, basically, because as you watch from kind of the start of the game, it isn't necessarily your fault. That's as far as I'm going to go, because I don't want to give too much away, basically. Now my Christmas bargain would definitely have to be MAG for the PlayStation 3. And MAG stands for Massive Action Game. And basically what it is, you can just basically, it's only a multiplayer game. There's no single player at all. Only available for the PlayStation Network. And the best thing is you can have a multiplayer game with up to 256 players, which is insane. It's about 127 a side or something like that. It is insane. The game is massive. The maps are huge. You may think that you kind of get lost a little bit in the game itself, but you actually don't. There's a lot to do, and even if you're not going around killing people, there's an easy way to kind of get points and things, and to kind of be top of the game kind of when the level finishes basically. So I would highly recommend MAG, and like I said, it's going for about £5 odd, I think you can find it for now. Like I said, I mean, with myself basically, all the video games that I buy, I either get them brand new or go to shops, for instance like CEX, which do kind of training and things for old games, or just in general do very good value on new games that aren't necessarily brand new, but if you go in there for instance and get a game like, for instance, my next option, then you know that it's going to not be that old and it's not going to be that used. Speaking of which, my next option is Borderlands 2. I freaking love this game. Definitely one of my favourite games of 2012. 100%. I got here the premium edition. And basically it's a whole new kind of story to Borderlands basically. There's new Vault Hunters, obviously the new characters basically, seeking treasure, and you're just basically causing mayhem on the planet of Pandora basically. Now it's a first-person shooter, and it's basically all about collecting loot and guns and things. There's billions of guns that you can choose from. There's so many. I mean, I've played through the game and I haven't found the same gun more than once, basically. So it's very good. You can have up to 4-player drop-in, drop-out co-op as well. So if you've got some friends that like playing Borderlands and you want them in the game, then all they have to do is basically hop online, you can just accept it, and they'll be there playing with you as well, basically, no pun intended. Next option is the game that I've been playing the most at the moment, which is Assassin's Creed 3. Now, this came out not so long ago, and basically it follows the story of a brand new character, which is, can't remember his name, Mendez I think it might be. First name of Connor, I know that much. Basically a brand new kind of game, obviously following on from 1 and 2. Now with this, if you haven't played Assassin's Creed 1 or you haven't played Assassin's Creed 2, I personally would maybe say to not get this one because the story is very intertwined. I mean, you need to know the background of the story to be able to enjoy the game, I think, to its full ability, because the start of the game, kind of, there's a lot of things going on that you may not necessarily know, like, oh, what is that, what's going on there, basically. But again, Assassin's Creed 3, a very good game. I would definitely highly recommend it. And like I say as well, that one, again, if you're looking at it to get brand new, or in, like I say, CX for instance, then again, you can get it for very good value. Now, last but not least, in terms of the games that I currently have, would be Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Now, obviously, it's the follow-up to Call of Duty Black Ops, which in some people's opinions was the best Call of Duty game. In my opinion, not so much, maybe Modern Warfare 3. But it's a very good game nonetheless. Black Ops 2 basically, again, focuses on the story of Mason's son, maybe grandson, I'm not too sure, because it's set a very far time in the future, basically. It's set in 2025, so you know it's all kind of futuristic and things. And it's a bit of a sidestep basically. See, when Modern Warfare came out, that had some kind of future tech on it. And this one here, though it's made by Treyarch, again has kind of pushed the boundaries in terms of going through the future. Campaign, gonna be honest, pretty short, about 5 or 6 hours. Multiplayer is obviously insane. It's probably the best multiplayer with things like uploading things to YouTube without having to do anything. You can just stream it straight to YouTube, have a little kind of sect and things. I'll put up a little screenshot of that. And also you do have zombies mode as well, basically. Now, some games that I don't have, that are, again, really highly rated out there at the moment, would be things like Hitman Absolution, which is the newest in the Hitman game. Obviously, continuing the trend, you play Agent 47, and the whole point of the game is to assassinate people and to take people out being as stealthy as you can. Not necessarily my type of game, although, for instance, Dishonored, which I mentioned earlier, is very similar to that, but I personally just think I prefer the style and things of Dishonored myself. Obviously, one of the big major ones is Halo 4, obviously made by a brand new company now, 343 Studios, and again follows the story of Master Chief, and it's more about the kind of your AI assistant Cortana. It's mainly about kind of her story and her battle and things like that, basically. But again, it's a very good game and a very good option to be playing. In terms of racing games, at the top there right at the moment would have to be Forza Horizon, which is a bit of a step away from the traditional Forza game in that now it's kind of a big open world game. There's no kind of specific maps and things. It's not kind of professional racing. It's more kind of street racing, but done in a kind of professional way, if that makes sense. So the whole story is there's a kind of like a festival that you kind of follow around and kind of do the races for that, basically. And again, that's a very good game. Lots of stuff going on there, lots of cars, lots of licensed cars as well, which is quite rare these days, but again, looking real nice, and the damage models are insane as well. Another option for a really good racing game that's out at the moment would have to be Need for Speed Most Wanted, which is kind of like a reboot or kind of maybe a refresh of the original Need for Speed game, Most Wanted, which came out in the early 2000s, basically. And again, ultra realistic graphics on this. The graphics on this are one of the best on a racing game that I've seen of recent days, basically. And again, it's a very kind of open world game, and you kind of just go around picking where you need to go and who you need to race and things like that, basically to reach a goal and to get to the end of kind of the story mission, as it were. If you're out there kind of looking for maybe a scare with your video games, then I would have to recommend Resident Evil 6. Which is obviously the 6th iteration of the Resident Evil games. And again, it follows kind of multiple story paths of about 4 different people, basically, in terms of going through the story. And they all meet up. It's got Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 5, it's got Leon from Resident Evil 4, and they all kind of intertwine and kind of find each other and all kind of come together and things. Now, also, if you are the kind of person that doesn't like the fresh air but likes football, then I would recommend FIFA 13. Which is the brand new FIFA game, and again, it just features all the teams that have been there before with, I'm guessing new kits and things and different pictures and stuff. I'm not a huge fan of FIFA, maybe play it on my iPhone, but not a huge fan myself. I personally think that you should just kind of maybe go outside and kick a ball around instead of sitting down on the couch. But like I say, in terms of maybe for the younger kids, I'm going to do a little section on that as well, might as well. I would recommend, in terms of games and things and new things that are out at the moment, definitely the new Nintendo Wii U console, which is kind of being tipped as being the biggest selling console, basically. Obviously, the original Nintendo Wii had huge sales and things and was very, very popular. With the Wii U, it kind of follows that trend in terms of there's a lot of games out there that are suitable for children. In terms of, obviously, you got things like Mario, which is obviously a standard. You got the new Mario Brothers U, which is the first HD Mario game. I know it's 2012 and we're only talking about the first HD Mario game now, but hey. Also, there's going to be the traditional kind of Zelda games, kind of Lego games, instead of basically Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Lego Batman, etc. coming out to that as well. You can accept the traditional Mario Kart things to be coming out for it soon as well. There's not a huge load of games at the moment in terms of for the Nintendo Wii U, but there are some that are kind of more tailored towards the older people as well, because Nintendo are marketing this for everyone. So obviously you can get Batman Arkham Asylum Armored Edition, which is obviously all the DLC included. You can get Black Ops 2, Assassin's Creed 3, Need for Speed, etc. So obviously the console itself is very nice. I've seen one myself. They had a kind of preview of one in game today. I had a look at it, and it does look nice. The controller is a bit bulky, but obviously it acts as kind of a second screen, and you can play certain games like Mario just on the controller and not have to kind of take that around with you, basically. In terms of the maybe Nintendo DS as well. Obviously in terms of 3DS, again, things like Mario and things like that, obviously kind of just traditional games as well. Mario Kart DS and things like that. I'm not a huge fan of Nintendo. I have to admit I am more of a PlayStation, Xbox kind of guy. But again, for the younger people out there, then I would recommend the Nintendo Wii U or a 3DS in terms of game consoles that you want to be buying. Now, speaking of games consoles, if you are at that age where you do want to get a console and you're kind of torn between whether you get maybe an Xbox or a PlayStation, for instance, I at the moment would go for whichever one you can find the cheapest, to be perfectly honest. I mean, obviously the Xbox and the PlayStation, at the moment there's not really too much difference apart from maybe slightly different on price, and also the Xbox doesn't have the Blu-ray which the PlayStation 3 does. Now the only reason I'm saying obviously get the cheapest one is because obviously 2013/2014 is meant to be the year of the new consoles, Xbox 720 or PlayStation 4, whatever they're going to be called. So I would maybe hold off on getting a new console at the moment if you can. If not, you can't really go wrong with either one, to be honest. So like I say, the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3, and I'll put up some prices as well, just to kind of see in terms of what you can get. Also look at pre-owned consoles as well, because pre-owned consoles you can usually get for about half the price of a brand new console. So again, very good option in terms of getting it and maybe getting a new one when the new ones do come out in a year's time or so. You're not going to be spending a huge amount of money and things like that. So that's kind of the end of my kind of video game holiday gift guide now. Like I say, any of the games that I've mentioned are a super good choice for anyone. Like I say, obviously do check, obviously rates and things on, for instance, websites like Metacritic and Game Trailers, things like that, for obviously all the scores of the game, see if they are actually that good. These are really my personal recommendations, so if you do buy a game and it's not to your liking, do not blame myself, because obviously it's just kind of what I am looking at the moment. So like I say, I am Michael from Copper v Glass. This has been your Video Game Holiday Gift Guide 2012, and I will catch you in the next video.